Welcome, collectors and model railroad enthusiasts. Thank you once again for joining me for another episode of the HO Files here on Diecast Emporium. This is one of my favorite series to do here on this channel. If you're new, this is where I take one of the HO buildings, whether it be a Menards building, a Walthers Cornerstone kit, which is the case here, or some of the landmark scenics ready-built structures, and I create a scene or a small diorama just to show you how you can use it on your railroad layout or in your collection. This is one that I just got in. This is the Walthers Cornerstone Bulk Material Storage Kit. It's not the most elaborate, nor is it the most expensive, but that's okay with me because this is something that I personally have been wanting to see for a very long time. The number is 933-4139 for reference, or if you're ordering it out of the Walthers catalog. Let's start out with the vehicles that make up this scene before we actually get to the kit, because as I said before, it's not the most complicated build, or it's not the most elaborate building, but once again, it's something that I've been wanting to see, and it is a welcome addition to something in HO scale, because you can find these in gravel and quarry pits, you can find them on railroad maintenance facilities, you can see these in asphalt and concrete plants, you can see them also outside large building material stores such as Lowe's and Home Depot and Menards, and also, as is kind of the case here that I'm trying to replicate, many landscape or bulk material yards have setups very similar to this with large storage bins with different types of bulk material for sale. All right, let's start out with some of the worker trucks that we have over here to the left-hand side of the screen. First, we have an old-school Ford F-150. These were made by Atlas a number of years ago, over 20 years ago now. This is the teal, the two-tone one with the beige fenders. I absolutely love these trucks. They don't have the highest quality of detail, nor do they have the highest quality of functionality, but the tailgate does lower somewhat. There's the front. Again, you don't even have the Ford oval highlighted in blue, but again, that's just fine with me. I love these old trucks. You can still find these on eBay for a relatively affordable price. On the opposite end of the spectrum, these are somewhat difficult to find now, and if you can find them, they're pretty pricey. Ertl made a couple of Dodge pickup trucks in 1/87 scale at the end of the 90s. This is one of them. I believe this is a 1500 Ram. Cool thing about this is that the doors actually open on here. I'll show you that. In addition to the actual, see that? In addition to the actual tailgate lowering down. Nice truck. So that's two of the workers' vehicles. If you want something a little bit more modern, here's a 2008 Ford F-250 crew cab by River Point Station. Once again, for those that may be new, River Point Station has a wide range of Ford F-Series vehicles in a variety of different liveries and configurations, all the way from fire trucks to pickup trucks to excursions and explorers as well. And last but certainly not least, we have a old Jeep Wagoneer. I believe the correct pronunciation for this company is Burkina in 1/87 scale. Really like the white walls on this. You can't ever go wrong with the wood paneling on the side of the Jeep Wagoneer. Bike rack up on top, or cargo rack, whichever way you want to put it. A very subtle driver's side mirror right here, which you can barely see, but it is there. There's no mirror on the right side, which I believe was actually accurate to these late 60s Wagoneers. There you go. Okay. For this building, which is not part of the kit, this is a separate building, and it's a ready-made structure by, I believe, Bachman. Yeah, Bachman Industries right here. This is the site office, so this is something that you can buy straight off the shelf, and it's assembled. Here it says shipping at the rear. You have, I believe that's an electrical box, some nice windows, some cameras, downspout. On top you have some, I believe those are skylights. Let the sun in. Here's the business end, or the front. Here you have, in yellow, it reads, no smoking. Ironically, I believe that was applied upside down on mine. Authorized personnel only. That's a fire extinguisher. And then your main office entry here with two other doors. And again, a security camera here. So this is nice just if you want to throw it out in front of a wide variety of industries as well. Everything from private buildings to industrial buildings, and obviously even here in front of this bulk materials facility. Really, whatever display or diorama I'm working on, I like to have one of these in front of it. They're not very expensive, and they're pretty well made. I think this is a resin building. All right, 2 little figures, just some little construction workers. This guy, and then we have another guy up here on top of the pile. This guy has a shovel. And these are part of a Woodland Scenics figure set. Okay, let's turn our attention to some of the bigger vehicles we have on this display. So this is a Walthers Scenemaster International Durastar Crew Cab, or a 4300 truck. In yellow, obviously, we have him loaded with some topsoil, as you can see here. I'm not going to tilt it too much farther, it's going to come out. So he's just been loaded out of our second bin full of topsoil, and he's off to his destination. We have a Diecast Masters Cat 272C skid steer, which technically is not HO scale, but it's very close, and it's passable, as you can see in this diorama. The 272 is one of the larger skid steers in the range, so it is somewhat close and somewhat passable. So if you want to pose it with some of the other equipment, as you can see there, it works just fine. So we have him leaving. Currently being loaded now is another International 4300 series truck, this one in my DOT orange fleet. We have him being loaded with some gravel on the way to lay down the base layer for a road bed that's being paved. So we got him loaded halfway with some gravel. He's in the process of being loaded by our Athearn John Deere 624J medium-sized wheel loader. These Athearn wheel loaders are actually really anything Athearn did for John Deere is really nice. The functionality is spectacular on these. You can see the full range of motion there. Good range of articulation. But for detail, you can even see the lug nut detail on the inside of these wheels. On the back, lighting, John Deere here. You even have your hand and grab rails up here. Just very nice detail on these, and they're still somewhat affordable. I think you can find these on eBay for under $30 still. And our last big vehicle is a newer 7600 truck in white, and he is going to be coming in here and getting a load of sand. So that's him, as he's just pulling into the yard. So let's move our vehicles out of the way just for now, so we can focus in on the building. Okay, so here's the building. Try and move this closer without dumping everything out of there. There we go. So this is it. In terms of if you get the bulk storage, the bulk material storage kit from Walthers, this is it. So you get a shed, more or less, that you can house 2 vehicles in. And as you saw, you can fit a skid steer in comfortably. And you can fit most of, but not completely, a small wheel loader in with some of it hanging out. You also have 3 storage bins. In my case, I have in storage bin 1 some sand. In storage bin 2, I have some topsoil. And in storage bin 3, I have some gravel. All of these are, make sure I get this right, all of these are different ballasts from Woodland Scenics, like this. So these are different ballast materials you can buy at your local hobby store. Not very expensive, and they really do look the part. You get a lot for your money, and they do look really, really good once you put it on your layout, whether you're using it permanently or just temporarily. So overall, I have to say this kit is, and I've mentioned it a couple times already, not only is it welcome, but it's pretty diverse. You can use it for a lot of different industries. It goes together really well. I actually have the instruction kit right here. If you can see in the background, it's literally 1 page long with just a couple steps. You get a base, a couple concrete walls, you have your divider at the back, and your shed top. That's pretty much it. So you can knock this kit out in less than 20 minutes if you know what you're doing. And it's very stress-free. It's very fun. I highly recommend it. So that will conclude this episode of the HO Files. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, what you think of this. Now, there is another Walthers kit coming out very, very soon. It's called the Vehicle Maintenance Facility. I do plan on adding that to the collection as well. And actually, these two would go really well and kind of intertwine with each other very well. So if you're using a Department of Transportation vehicle yard or facility, you can have that, as well as having this, perhaps, for maybe some salt in the wintertime, or maybe some gravel and, topsoil for some road maintenance. So that's just one example of how these two kits could intertwine and work very well together. As always, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you all so much for watching. Take a look at the top of your screen right now. If you enjoyed this video, not only leave a like, but subscribe. And then there's a suggested link for another episode in the HO files. Take care and be safe. I'll see you in the next review.